YouTube key to Warrior 82 or Flying Scots in 1995. Or names 1995, it doesn't matter what you call me. The plan is at some point in this live stream to go to Roblox Studio and create my own Roblox game. But for now, we're stuck with the with Facebook gaming. So yeah. Anyway, gonna listen to Lego Level 117 I can hear it. Then when I get into the Roblox Studio stuff, some point in this live stream, I'm gonna play the Dark River series. Cause yes. Anyway, enjoy.
Alrighty, everyone, here's your close-up look at A Very Thomas Christmas. And I know what you're thinking. Lego Lover, is that a bootleg? That can't be. That can't be an official release of A Very Thomas Christmas. That's different artwork. Well, yeah, it's different artwork because this is a 2016 reprinted copy from Universal. And I'm actually shocked that they took the time to create some new artwork for this. I do not have an original print from 2012, so we're only going to be looking at the 2016 reprinted version. Thomas and Friends logo, A Very Thomas Christmas, and a very eye-catching font. Thomas down there at the bottom, covered in lights and such, and there's a snow sort of banner around it, or background, as you may call it. There's no hit logo here, which is astounding. It's just the Universal logo up there on the top with Thomas in a rectangle portrait. Thomas and Friends logo, A Very Thomas Christmas, and just the DVD logo down there with its serial number. So no hit logo, except when you get to the back there, it is down there. Ring in the holiday cheer with Thomas. UPC code your blurb about what's on the disc and such. Thomas and Emily looking very festive. Bonus features, Thomas's Christmas Journey game. You got some of those Guess Who puzzles and Driver Perkins. Fun with him, as usual. Down here is your tech specs and such. And if you can see right there, you can read that. It says disc made in Mexico. What am I doing? That was a bad Donald Trump impression. I'm sorry for those of you who didn't get that joke. We open this up, not a eco case this time, but it's still kind of cheap plastic. There's our disc. Again, it's that uniform reflective gray look for all the Universal reprints and standard Universal releases, I suppose. A Very Thomas Christmas just printed on there. But I guess it's cool. And also, the clamshell is white. So that's cool that they actually made the extra effort to change that to white to make it look like snow and not for white superiority, which I know that some social justice warriors will comment down in the comments that, oh, I like it because I'm a white supremacist, because obviously I'm white, so I like everything that's white. Not true. All of you all who are going to comment and being very angry in the comment section, I'm sorry if I just triggered some SJWs. With all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and transition into our menu tour for A Very Thomas Christmas. Alrighty, everyone, here's your menu tour for A Very Thomas Christmas. And you can see we're back to full screen menus. Last week with Blue Mountain Mysteries menu tour, we had a glorious widescreen aspect ratio menu. And now we're back here to full screen. And we'll be stuck in full screen for about another month or so. But I guess I can handle it. Our 4 options, same as always, play, episode selection, language selection, bonus features, is pretty similar to this new poster art, which was created for its reprinted version of A Very Thomas Christmas. However, it's more similar to its original poster art, which I will put on the screen right here. Anyway, got our same 4 options. Episode selection, what do we got on this release? The Christmas Tree Express, Ho Ho Snowman, Salty Surprise, and Emily's Winter Party Special. I can't really say too much about these stories because I haven't watched this yet, so can't say much about them. Language selection, let me guess, it's going to be English, Spanish, and French. Yep, of course. We barely spent maybe 2 seconds on that portion of the menu. Bonus features, Thomas's Christmas Journey game, and Guess Who puzzles. I really don't feel like playing that game, so we're just going to go ahead and wrap up here and say that's the end of the menu tour for A Very Thomas Christmas. I apologize for anybody who's saddened by the fact I didn't play that game, but I don't want to, and it's my show, so deal with it. Let's go ahead and head back and answer the 5 main questions as always. All right, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Well, the original version, you're never going to find that in the store, but the reprinted version from 2016, I actually saw this in a few places last December. actually. I mentioned in Blue Mountain Mystery, Target is the best place that you can find reprinted Thomas and Friends products, especially movies and such. And I actually saw A Very Thomas Christmas at Target last year. And I picked it up in 2016 at Target. So check your local Targets. They might have some overstock. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? I'm going to say no to this since it's not October of 2018 yet. So we're not going to get any Christmas stuff for a while, at least hopefully. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Oh boy, let's get into this downfall. Yeah, these episodes are not good. I mentioned last week how they weren't the best or the worst. Yeah, they're pretty bad. I'm sorry. I hadn't rewatched it prior to recording the Blue Mountain Mystery HMR, so I completely forgot how bad these episodes are. I mean, the salty episode wasn't too bad. It was cool to see some of his backstory, with him being painted green, even if it was just a ploy to make a Toys R Us exclusive wooden railway product. But the other 3 episodes, I feel bad for Rheneas, man. He's featured heavily in the Christmas Tree Express, and he acts like an idiot. At least he was funny in Blue Mountain Mystery, asking over and over for a repaint. Here he's just stupid. Oh, and also Toby's featured in that episode, which also makes no sense. Which, side note, Mattel, if you're going to boot any character off of the Steam Team for a Thomas and Friends spinoff, boot Toby, for God's sake. Toby has done nothing important in the series in forever. I'm sorry if that triggers some Toby fans out there, but seriously, why boot Edward and Henry? Edward's interesting and Henry's funny. Toby does nothing. My apologies for that little side rant there. That was just ranting about Big World, Big Adventures and how just goddamn awful it is. Presumably, at the time of this recording, I've only seen that little advert that was on that news website where the news people were talking about Big World, Big Adventures and how Thomas has been losing steam over the past years. Yeah, sorry, the show was actually good. I'm going to get off that topic now before I go on a cussing spree. So, yeah, the salty episode was all right, I guess. It's the one redeeming factor on this. And the Mr. Perkins segments were okay, but I can't recommend a release on one okay story and some Mr. Perkins segments. So, no, you shouldn't see this. Man, we had one Green Arrow, guys. We had one Green Arrow, and you lost it. You blew it. You're tearing me apart, Sharon Miller. Andrew Brenner, why couldn't you have gotten your hands on season 16? You could have made it so much better. Side note, why do people say season 16 is the best of the CGI seasons? It's not. I don't know why I just went like insane there. Maybe because it's 11 o'clock and my brain is mush. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1, especially if you can find it in a store. Hi, I said something different again, you haters. Number 5, how much should you pay? Well, I found mine for $5. So if you find the reprinted version, yeah, $5. That's how much it's worth. The original version, I'm pretty sure it comes with a slipcover, so that automatically adds value. $10. There we go. So that's the HMR on A Very Thomas Christmas. I kind of lost my sanity there at the end, but it's okay. I'm composed. Like I said, it's 11 o'clock, and I've just been sitting in my bed with a sore back watching Avatar all day. So that's probably why. Anyway, we've gotten past this downward spiral. Now we're going to sink even deeper, because next week we're talking about Sticky Situations, which, holy crap, might be one of the worst releases I've ever watched in my life. We'll save that review for next week as usual. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody. Okay, the microphone is steady. Beforehand, it was slipping off of the tripod, and I couldn't figure out why, but now it looks to be okay. So we're going to try this out, and if it falls in the recording, well, it'll make a good blooper. So this is coming out when? I need to find out when this comes out. I forget. Okay, February. Yeah, I was right. So we'll make a joke about Christmas in February. Makes sense. I didn't think I'd have to review anything as bad as Up, Up, and Away again. Hey everybody, welcome back to Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. Today's review is on Sticky Situations, and as you can probably tell, I am dead inside, much like the soul of this release. That's assuming this release even has a soul. So let's stop pointlessly complaining about this release and let's pointlessly complain in the history section of Sticky Situations.
Find a flight that's the right price. Airline, stops, cabin class, and more. Search Kayak now.
Fun to drive wherever you go. The Honda CR-V is the best-selling.
So Sticky Situations, thank the Lord above, was only released once in December of 2012, which I'm not even going to rant about this. I'm just going to mention it. Why couldn't you have swapped release dates with A Very Thomas Christmas? That would have made more sense. And at least we would have gotten the worst of the worst of season 16 out of the way beforehand. Anyway, let's transition into the close-up section for Sticky Situations. Alrighty, everyone, here's your close-up look at Sticky Situations. We're going to have to go through this kind of quick because my camera battery is blinking at me because it's almost dead. So, we got up here at the top in a yellow bar, good friends, stick together, Tums and Friends, Sticky Situations. Again, I know I've commented on this in the past, but I really like the fonts used for these titles. They look really good. I mean, they're not the best titles, but they look really good, especially with the metal on the sticky and the magnet in the situations. That was a clever thing. There's Butch on the front cover, grasping onto Thomas's cab. And everybody kind of flipped out when they saw that. Oh, look, Butch is back. Yeah, we got classic characters back, guys. And then it turns out his episode was really bad. On the side, Hit Entertainment logo. Focus, camera. Come on, my battery's dying. I need it. There we go. Thomas and Friends, Sticky Situations. Portrait of Thomas is distributed by Lionsgate. So this is an original. On the back, Thomas and Friends logo, UPC code, your blurb about what's on the disc and such. You've got Butch's really big magnet right there with his butt showing right there, and there's Thomas looking really astounded. Bonus features along with some screenshots with Charlie and Edward and Ferdinand and the Lion of Sodor. Bonus features include the Biff Bash Bosh game. I read that wrong. Guess Who puzzles. We've got a Go Thomas music video and fun and activities with Driver Perkins. Tech specs and stuff down at the bottom. We open this up. Ooh, what are those? Sticky Situations. There's your disc. A squished up version of the poster art. And what is this, you may ask? Well, this was actually on the cellophane when I bought this new off of eBay. It says bonus magnets, character magnets inside. And if you look, here's the aftermath of what the magnets came in. The reason that the magnets are gone is because this piece of magnetic stuff that's supposed to stick them inside is very flimsy. And when I opened this up for the first time, the magnets pretty much all fell out. So let me go ahead and put this down, and I will go ahead and grab those magnets because I still do have them. All right, here are the magnets. There's a small one of Harold, helicopter. I think that's the smallest one. Toby, Emily. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. I'm sorry, guys. Emily. Just throwing them down. James, Percy, and then the biggest one, who else could it be? It's Thomas, of course. So those are all the magnets that you get, and that's actually a really cool like add-on to these things. It's kind of like the Blue Mountain Mystery advertisement thing that came in Schoolhouse Delivery and Engine Friends. So that wraps up the close-up for Sticky Situations. Let's go ahead and jump right into our menu tour for Sticky Situations. Alrighty, everyone, here's your menu tour for Sticky Situations. You can kind of see that because the sun's going down. So, yeah, let's just move into the menu tour, guys. Episode selection, language selection, and bonus features. Yeah, that good stuff you guys already know about all that. Stuck on You, Spencer the Grand, Gordon and Ferdinand, Charlie and Eddie. I don't remember much about these episodes. I haven't rewatched this yet. Language selection, I can already tell you which languages we're going to have. Yeah, those three. I'm not even going to say it. Bonus features, Biff Bash Bosh. It's a game and a Go Thomas karaoke music video and Guess Who puzzles. I don't want to play this game, but to elongate this, I will torture myself for your viewing entertainment. So, let's do it.
Hello, and welcome to the island of Sodor. Percy and Thomas are in a playful mood today and would like you to join in the fun and biff, bash, and botch some barrels over. You can play the game with 1 or 2 players. Looks like there is a big shipment of apples stopped on the tracks at Sodor Steamworks. When the meter you see is all the way to the top, choose Enter on your remote to go full steam ahead. Great work! You just flipped 6 barrels over. Now it's Percy's turn to bash some barrels.
I haven't been talking much throughout this because I've just been, kind of sitting here observing, but this is basically like engine bowling. This is actually kind of fun. You know what? I'm going to humor Percy and I'm going to hit enter when we get to the bottom. Just going to humor him. Ooh, psych. And that's another strike.
Great work. You just flipped 6 barrels over.
That's 12. Percy's only got 2. Suck it, Percy.
Biff, bash, bosh. There
Ooh, look at that.
Knocked right over. Full steam ahead.
Good job, Percy. You've only got 6, which is half of what I've got.
Your turn now. Great work.
We're just on a roll here today, guys. This is like a let's play. Oh, boy. Oh, dang, Percy coming in with the strike. He's trying to come back.
It's so much fun to pop and chop and bash barrels. Thomas biffed a total of 18 barrels. Well done. Thomas biff, bash, bosh the most barrels.
Yeah, but it didn't tell us how much Percy biff, bash, bosh. But at least we won. But I got to admit, though, that game was actually kind of fun. I actually kind of enjoyed that. That wasn't, terrible. That's one of those games that I find that are actually like entertaining to an adult's perspective, but also kids will get a kick out of that as well. That's not a horrible game. I can't believe I'm saying I liked one of these games. So anyway, that's the menu tour on Sticky Situations. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Okay, so we're back from the close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions. Yay! I have no soul for this release. Number 1, where should you pick this product up? You shouldn't. And online retailers if you're crazy and or stupid. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Thank God above no. Number 3, should you pick this product up? I don't understand why people say season 16 is the best of the new CGI era or the old CGI era. It's not. It's terrible. These episodes prove that. Look, it was a cool novelty to see that Butch was back, okay? It's cool and all that. But that doesn't excuse Stuck on You for being a terrible episode. It's awful. Spencer the Grand, I think I tweeted about this the night that I was watching Sticky Situations, but Spencer the Grand is legitimately one of the worst Thomas episodes I've ever seen in my life. It is just unbearably stupid. Oh, hey, wait a minute. A side note here. I'm reading the wiki page, and apparently these are season 15 episodes. Okay, that makes sense. Well, one of them's from season 14, but okay, that makes sense. I thought for a moment, like, how could this be season 16? Now I understand why. They're not season 16. So, kids, if you're ever going to review something, actually read the whole page on it instead of just skipping to the freaking dates. My bad, guys. So I'm sorry, season 16. I just talked a lot of trash about you, but I apologize, but you're still not very good. So anyway, resuming my rant, the episode Gordon and Ferdinand made me want to jump off a bridge. LOL, edgy memes, bro. Got him good. And then Charlie and Eddie, like, writers, if you're gonna kill off Edward, at least kill him off in this era so he doesn't have to live through this. I mean, Edward escaped Thomas and the Magic Railroad. He's escaping Big World, Big Adventures. Why couldn't he have escaped this era? I just want to get out of this era so desperately. Just let me leave. Look, the magnets were a cool insert. Okay, the magnets were cool. But just because the release has something physical in it, which is a rarity in Thomas & Friends, doesn't mean I can give it a green arrow for just a little flimsy magnet sheet. You can probably find that on eBay by itself. The Mr. Perkins segments, I don't remember them all that well, so they probably weren't very good. I was too busy probably punching myself in the balls. Almost said the other word. Because this release is just so nonsensical. So, no, not recommended. Sticky Situations. Please die. I'm embarrassed I even own this now. Holy crap. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? You shouldn't. Not even going to answer that. Number 5, what price should you pay? Well, you shouldn't pay anything. $0. This sucks. Move on. That's the HMR for Sticky Situations. Holy crap. I got kind of mad in this, but just really annoyed because this release is just nothing. It's, So here's the burning question on everybody's minds. Which release would I want to watch more? Sticky Situations or Up, Up, and Away? Because obviously it seems I hate them both equally. And I would choose a third option. C, Death. I would choose neither of these. I long for the sweet relief of season 17. I long for it. Can we please get to it quickly? The good news is, next week is Muddy Matters. And I remember this release not being as unbearable. I made that comparison with a graph with Blue Mountain Mystery. We went all the way up. Very Thomas Christmas, we went down a little bit. Sticky Situations were in the fiery pits of hell. Muddy Matters were probably on the cusp of getting back to Earth, but still in hell. So I remember it not being terrible, but we'll have to see. You'll find out next week. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, good night, everybody. And Sticky Situations makes me want to die. I'm not sure if I insinuated that enough.
You are rocking that grill.
Hi, Barry.
But that pulled pork can taste even better on King's Hawaiian slider buns.
Thanks, Guy.
My work here is done. Everything better between King's Hawaiian bread.
Hello, I'm Lego Lover 117. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend, and I haven't seen Good Thomas content since I don't know when. I'm stuck in the nitrogen era, and life keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-moving with the promise of season 17. I don't know why I just did a Johnny Cash impression. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews. Today's review is on Muddy Matters. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Muddy Matters. So Muddy Matters did not last very long. It's one of those releases that was only put out once. And in this case, it was put out on January 15th of 2013. So this was the release that kicked off 2013. A year of change for Thomas & Friends. So let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Muddy Matters. Alrighty, everyone, here's your close-up look at Muddy Matters. Start off here at the top of the red bar. Icky, sticky, messy, good times. Sounds like fun. Thomas & Friends Muddy Matters is fun. It's all right, I guess. It's not anything eye-catching, I suppose. I mean, I like the mud around it for added detail. Thomas on the front there looking very happy with James behind him, like, whoa, dude, you're all muddy and stuff. It's pretty simplistic, but I like it nonetheless. On the side, Hit Entertainment logo, Thomas & Friends Muddy Matters, portrait of Thomas, distributed by Lionsgate. We look on the back here. Thomas and his friends have fun in the mud with the UPC code, blurb. James and Thomas on the back looking very muddy with their top and hat, and Farmer McCall with some very dirty pigs. I think that's what they look like. Bonus features, the Muddy Sheep Roundup game. We have some Guess Who puzzles. Again, we have the Go Go Thomas music video. We got that on Sticky Situations. I don't know why they're putting it on this one as well. And Fun and Activities with Driver Perkins. Some screenshots include Spencer and Whiff and James, Edward, and Henry at Did Machettes. I don't know what episodes these are from. Don't ask me. Text specs and stuff down at the bottom, along with the link to thomasandfriends.com. We open this up. Did not come with an insert, but eco case again. Muddy Matters is your disc. It's a squished up version of the poster art as usual. So that wraps up the close up for Muddy Matters. Let's go ahead and jump right into the menu tour for Muddy Matters. Redundancy. Alrighty, everybody, here's your menu tour for Muddy Matters. You can kind of see that because I'm filming this on the same day I did the Sticky Situations menu tour, and the sun is still going down behind me. Play, episode selection, language selection, bonus feature. Why do I even still say that? You guys already know what these are. But we have 5 episodes for this release. Whoa, dude, that's an amazing amount of episodes. Muddy Matters, Thomas and the Garbage Train, Don't Bother Victor, Whiff's Wish, and Thomas Toots the Crows. I wonder if Thomas and the Garbage Train features seasons 14 and 15. Get it, guys? Because those seasons are trash. LOL dab. Language selection, English, Spanish, and French. I kind of like this picture of James and the pigs. It looks pretty cool. Arc would probably do it better, though. Bonus features, Muddy Sheep Roundup game, the same karaoke music video from last week, which is Go Go Thomas again. It keeps advertising Go Go Thomas. And Guess Who puzzles. So I really liked the last week's game with Sticky Situations. So let's see if the Muddy Sheep Roundup game can live up to the immense legacy that the Biff Bash Bosh game created. Okay, we're starting off here. James already doesn't have a tender. That's inaccurate to the Railway series.
The Sodor Farmers Fair. Thomas is so excited for the fair, he peeks his whistle. Oh no! Thomas has scared the sheep, and they ran into the field. And now the sheep are covered in...
What is with that blinking?
Round them up. Next to the siding, you will see Farmer McCall's farm animals, including some muddy sheep. Use the directional arrow buttons on your remote control to highlight the farm animals. Hit the enter button to choose a muddy sheep and place them in James's cargo car. Be sure to select only Farmer McCall's muddy sheep. There are other sheep on the field, but only the muddy sheep are going to the fair. Farmer McCall is counting on you to gather his muddy sheep.
Okay, so basically we just have to use the direction buttons on the remote, which are these things right here in case you didn't know, to click which sheep is the muddy one. So let's start this thing. This already doesn't seem that promising. It's that one.
Great job.
Why does that car have 5 wheels? That's just weird. Also, this angle of James is really unflattering. Okay, that's a cow, so that's not a muddy sheep. That's a sheep, but it's not muddy, and that guy's a person, so I think it's that one.
Well done.
Yep, James still doesn't have a tender. This is inaccurate to the Railway series, guys. It's like how they killed Edward. Hashtag Edward is deadward. Oh, we got 2 sheep that are muddy. They're really pushing up the ante here. This game is so bad. I can already tell you this doesn't live up to Bish Bash Bosh at all. This is not as fun.
Be useful.
How much longer do I have to go? Oh, no, there's 3. Good Lord, I can't even count to 3.
There's one.
Where'd the window come from? Was that window there before? I don't even remember.
Good job. You found a muddy sheep. Thank you so much for rounding up my sheep.
That boxcar still shouldn't have 5 wheels. That's wrong. It wouldn't even be able to turn. Oh, it's the 1920s music from Subject and Conflict.
Thanks for playing. You can play.
Well, that game sucked. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That game sucks. I knew with Biff Bash Bosh there was no other way we could go but down. So anyway, that's the menu tour for Muddy Matters. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5-minute questions as always. All right, so we're back from a close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? You can't find this in stores? I actually saw this in stores back in 2014. I picked this up the same day Spills and Thrills released, so I would say online retailers more than likely. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Last week, with Sticky Situations, I went on a bit of a tyrant about how horrible that release was. And I stand by my opinions of Sticky Situations. It's one of the worst releases I've ever seen. However, I think seeing that and how horrible it was kind of made me a little bit more forgiving for Muddy Matters. Because honestly, rewatching Muddy Matters, I wasn't trying to kill myself throughout it like I was through Sticky Situations. The best story on here is hands down Don't Bother Victor. Mainly because it features the narrow gauge engines, and the narrow gauge engines are just awesome. But also because it's actually kind of entertaining in a weird way. The other episodes all kind of blend together. Thomas Toots the Crows kind of stands out. Whiff's Wish is all right. Thomas and the Garbage Train is by far the worst story on this. Muddy Matters is all right, I suppose. Really, the only, entertaining story I could say is Don't Bother Victor, and obviously, like I already said, that's the best story on this release. The Mr. Perkins segments were all right, but again, the bonus features are lacking. However, this isn't really like a strong Red Arrow. It's not even a mild one. It's a very weak Red Arrow. They tried their best, okay? This is some of the best Season 16 has had to offer us, and even at that, it's still not very good, but at the very least, it's the best that they've offered us. So it's a very weak, not recommend. They almost had me. They almost got me. I was toying with recommending this or not, but I just can't bring myself to do it. But they got really close to a Green Arrow. So close. And I applaud them for that. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? More than likely, this was about $5 when I picked it up, so $5 is about what it's worth. So that's the HMR on Muddy Matters. Again, very weak Red Arrow. I'm actually kind of sad that they got so close to getting a Green Arrow from me, and then they just dropped the ball entirely. But they got really close. Next week, however, just might etch its way into Green Arrow territory. We're talking about Go Thomas. So I'll see you all next week. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with bad Thomas seasons. But I showed it to a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blow, I hang my head and cry. I don't know why I did a Johnny Cash impression, but whatever. Go, Thomas. Go, Thomas. Go. Number 1. Go, Thomas. Welcome back to Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews, everybody. 2 HMRs in a row, I've started off with parodies of songs. You guys liking it so far? My singing voice is really developing. As previously stated by the intro song, we're taking a look at Go Thomas this week. So let's not waste any time. Go ahead and jump right into the history section of Go Thomas.
Because life's recipe is never just one ingredient. Introducing Bowl and Basket. Now, shop right.
So Go-Go Thomas, just like Muddy Matters last week, had a very short lifespan as it was only released once on March 5th, 2013. Now again, very short lifespan. Kind of unfortunate because this is the best that season 16 has had to offer us so far. I mean, I said last week with Muddy Matters that was the best, but now Go-Go Thomas has supplanted that, and even at that, it's still not very good, but it's the best that the CGI era has had to offer us so far. Anyway, we'll save my thoughts for the recommend section. Let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Go-Go Thomas. Alrighty, everyone, here's your close-up look at Go-Go Thomas. Thomas & Friends logo, Go-Go Thomas. I really like this font. I wasn't too impressed with the Muddy Matters one last week, but hey, Go-Go Thomas looks really good. Thomas on the front looking like he's going very fast with a bunch of leaves around him. There's Spencer right behind him smiling for some reason. I thought Spencer was mean. And meet Stafford, because this is where Stafford was introduced. Kind of a throwback to the whole Meet Charlie and Meet Scruff little adverts from those season 13 and 14 releases. There's your tagline, high speed fun on the rails. On the side, Hit Entertainment logo, Thomas & Friends logo, Go-Go Thomas. Portrait of Thomas from the front, distributed by Lionsgate. Thomas & Friends logo, all aboard the Express Track to Adventure. That just took like 5 tries for me to say. I apologize. There's your blurb about what's on the disc and such. Flynn, you, Percy, James, and Thomas there on the back. Percy is the only one who has a different expression that's not smiling. Interesting. Bonus features include the Great Sodor Engine Race. I believe that's a game. Maybe it's a story. I don't know. Go-Go Thomas music video. This is the 3rd time we've gotten this in a row. Come on, guys. I get it. It's a cool song, but why do you put it on every single release? Guess Who puzzles and fun and activities with Driver Perkins. Tech specs and stuff down at the bottom. We open this up. Ooh, look, we have an insert to look at. Let's look at that before we look at the boring and bland disc. Take and Play. Wow. This was back when this was live. Portable, connectable, and collectible. We have Go Speedy Railway, where I guess you can race Thomas and Percy. So that's cool. Again, RIP Take and Play. It's been a long time since you were killed, but you'll never be forgotten, my son. And Thomas & Friends Trackmaster. I don't think this was when Trackmaster 2 came out. It might have been. That looks like a Trackmaster 2 Stafford. So, yeah. And also the Fisher-Price logo right there. So that's kind of interesting. Well, the Thomas & Friends Wooden Railway, back before you were killed as well. Gone too soon, my dear friend. Farmhouse Pig Parade set. This actually is a cool set. I would like to have this one day. Thomas's Pig Pickup. Express Coming Through, Race to the Rescue, Stafford, and the Sodor Search and Rescue Center. My apologies for the sudden jump cut. My camera battery just died on me. But I think we were talking about the Thomas Wooden Railway and how it's, not around anymore, and I wish it was. But, some pretty cool products. I think I mentioned this beforehand, but this Sodor Search and Rescue Center comes with a DVD that is super hard to find. So, if anybody has it, send it to me, please. Books. I think we already mentioned these two, but I'll show them again anyway. I had this one as a kid. I also had this one. I think I still have this one as well. But the other ones I never had. Open this up a little bit more. Oh, look, Take and Play. Wow, it's a Shark Escape set or Shark Exhibit set. It's so realistic to the TV series, right? Ad for the apps and such. They have a Thomas ad. Follow Thomas & Friends on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All that good stuff. So, and the back is showing that Thomas the Tank Engine is included in the little big club, I guess, that you can see at the Hard Rock Hotel. So it's a little weird. Book now and get 1,500 resort credit. Ooh, boy, I better book it now, guys. But yeah, that's a pamphlet that comes with Go-Go Thomas, and then there's the disc, which is just a squished up version of the poster art. I also find it interesting that before I close this, it has hooks. The case has hooks for an arm, unlike how some DVDs and Blu-rays, they have an arm that holds separate discs, and they usually are hooked in by these hooks. I don't know why this has hooks in it. Maybe this wasn't the OG case. I did buy this off eBay after all. So that's your close-up look at Go-Go Thomas. Let's go ahead and jump right into our menu tour for Go-Go Thomas. Alrighty, everyone, here's your menu tour for Go-Go Thomas. And you can't see that very well because filming these menu tours on the same day like last week and the week before. And I apologize if it seems like I don't have a lot of energy in these. It's just these menus, they're so similar that I run out of funny things to say. Like I said last week, I'm not even going to mention what these selections are because you already know what they are. Express coming through, race to the rescue, flash, bang, wallop went the balloon and landed right on top of James. Welcome Stafford and oh Wheezy Wobbles. Back to the main menu. We have English, Spanish, and French. I'm still waiting on the Hungarian option, guys. I want to watch Thomas and Friends in Hungarian, please. I'm still waiting. Great Sodor Engine Race. I think it's a game. Again, the third time this music video has appeared in 3 releases so far. I'm sure it's appeared on other ones like Hero of the Rails, but now it's been 3 in a row. And guess who puzzles? So, if the Great Sodor Engine Race is a game, which I think it is, then let's see if it can live up to I almost said Flashbang Wallop, to Biff Bash Bosh, which is the best game I've ever played in my life on a Thomas and Friends DVD.
Welcome to the Great Sodor Engine Race. Thomas and first.
Okay, so we're already starting off kind of promising.
Thomas is ready to race, but his track is not lined up.
Well, who the heck did that right?
Line up the track for Thomas to race. As the track turns, hit the enter button on your remote when the track is lined up correctly. After the track is lined up, race across Sodor.
I'm just going to skip this.
It's time to line up the track for the first race from Knapford Station.
Wait, I pushed the enter button. Why is it not? There we go. Now we did it.
Now you're ready to race. Ready, set, go!
I'm not doing anything right now. It's just Thomas and Percy are racing by themselves.
Is blocking the track. Can you help clear the track for Thomas? Which choice will remove the sheep? The balloons or Farmer McCall?
I gotta say, the balloons could probably lift the sheep off of the tracks, but I think Farmer McCall is the more logical option.
Roblox.
Remove the sheep off the track.
Whoa, that was epic, dude. Thomas just finished with the head-on collision. No, I'm kidding.
Great job. You helped Thomas win the first race.
Woo, Thomas wins. Well, that kind of sucks. Give him a day to recuperate and celebrate. Come on, Thomas wants a drink at the bar.
To line up the track for the second race from the countryside. Be careful. This track spins fast.
Yeah, I know how to line it up, game. Okay, I'm 18. I know how to do this. All right, here we go. Come on, Thomas. Come on, buddy. I got money on you. Do not fail me. If he fails, I'm killing myself instantaneously. It's just gone. I don't see why Percy stops, like, to wait. Like, Percy can go ahead. He has a head start. Do ducks like hay? I don't know. The pickaxe or the pitchfork seems like the better option.
The pitchfork can move the hay off the track.
But a pitchfork is also very good for riots, kids.
Oh no! A cow is in the way.
Why are there so many obstacles?
The sheep or Farmer McCall be the best choice to remove the cow from the track.
Farmer McCall, obviously.
Yes. Farmer McCall remove the cow.
I'm trying to provide
Alright,
commentary
feedback,
throughout this so I don't
feedback.
get copyrighted and also so you guys don't get bored.
Give me 1 second. I will be right
I'm doing
back.
my best.
Henry, are you okay, Henry?
And Thomas wins again. Woo! All
Henry?
right, here we go. Let's see if we can
Yeah,
win. If
Henry's
it's
not
best 2 out
okay.
of 3, I still win. Doesn't matter, Percy. I still win if
Henry's
it's
not
best 2 out of
alright.
3.
Yeah, he broke out of his engine.
Final race for Sodor City. This is the hardest part of the race.
I pushed enter like 3 times. It didn't even do anything.
Ready, set, go.
All right, here we go. Come on.
Got the pile of coal on the track.
We'll plant a tree, guys. Yeah, we'll plant a tree right on top of the coal. That'll fix it. Certainly scared James away. Pretty sure he still has PTSD from the time the tree almost killed him.
Right. The shovel can move the call that a
Good lord, this menu tour is going to be so long. Because of this game, I've invested in this. I can't just cut it short. I mean, you guys are invested in it too, right? Let's look at this logically, okay? If you throw the barrel at the crate, it might push the crate off of the rails. You use the balloons could possibly lift the crate up if you have enough. Kevin is obviously the answer. But at the same time, though, Kevin could, like, seriously, like, bonk you in the head with the crate. But we're going to take that risk. He probably hit Thomas in the face several times and made Thomas's nose bleed. But, you know, whatever. It was all worth it. It was in the name of science. Get the flip out of the way, Harold. I say we plant a tree on top. No, we should have Kevin take the crate from the last challenge and smack Harold with it and say, Harold, get the flip out of the way. And Harold's like, okay, Lordy Jesus. And he flies away. Percy was ahead there, and then he just slowed down. I would have preferred it if Percy won now. Thomas is a jerk.
After chuffing and puffing, steaming and chugging across the island of Sodor, Thomas is the overall winner. Great job. You helped Thomas to be a very useful engine.
My game wasn't horrible. It was certainly more interactive than a lot of the other games on this show are. But it definitely doesn't live up to Biff Bash Bosh. I mean, that game is just perfection. But this one comes in a pretty close second. It's definitely better than the game from last week with the stupid pigs. So that's the menu tour for Go-Go Thomas. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. All right, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? You can actually find Go-Go Thomas in a lot of FYEs. I've noticed it a couple of times whenever I've been to my local ones, and use DVD and Blu-ray shops. So not really just online retailers. You can actually find this probably in stores, maybe. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Last week with Muddy Matters, it was a weak not recommend. However, I didn't want to kill myself throughout it. And that is a major plus. Go-Go Thomas, to me, the first time I saw it, I hated it. I'm not really sure why I hated it. I just hated it. So going back to this, I was expecting to end this era with a not recommend. But looking back on Go-Go Thomas and rewatching it this last week, it actually wasn't horrible. I was actually entertained by some of it. Some of the stories on here are actually kind of fun to watch in a way. Express coming through, I think, has a very interesting premise with Thomas pulling the Express, although it's physically impossible for a steam engine of his size to be able to pull a giant train like the Express. But hey, whatever. It was kind of a fun story. Race to the Rescue, I actually wasn't annoyed by Flynn. It's kind of a stupid premise, and things that Flynn does in the story are stupid, but I was never annoyed by Flynn himself. And I hate Flynn. I hated him all throughout season 15. But this episode kind of makes me come around to Flynn. Just a little bit. And Butch also was not a huge idiot. Flash bang wallop. Let me tell you a story about this one. When I was sitting on my bed watching this and the words flash bang wallop appeared on my screen, I said to myself, man, this is going to be some season 15-esque crap. This episode's going to be horrible. Because I didn't remember anything about the story. Flashbang Wallop is actually not horrible. I was actually kind of entertained throughout that one as well. Again, it's a stupid premise, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting to see Thomas screw things up for his friends because he's a selfish a-hole. Welcome Stafford. Stafford's kind of a cool newbie. It's interesting to see an electric engine on Sodor, but his episode wasn't too strong. However, it is kind of cool to see Spencer given the task of showing a new engine around Sodor. And old Wheezy Wobbles, I have to say I didn't hate this one either. The logging locos are actually not annoying in this one. I don't like them, and I never will, but they weren't annoying here. Matter of fact, I don't think they ever move from their sightings on Misty Island throughout the entire story, which is really the way it should be. And it's kind of nice to see that Den and Dart have this established relationship with each other, that they can't physically leave each other and be able to fix whatever they need to fix. That's really not them doing the fixing, it's their drivers. But at the same time, though, it's interesting to see that. It's a little obsessive, and the two should probably get counseling for that, but hey, it's an interesting idea to explore. So all in all, Go-Go Thomas was not horrible. The Mr. Perkins segment was really enjoyable, with Mr. Perkins having an apprentice named Archie, and that was actually kind of fun to watch, even though Archie is a total idiot, but just kind of fun. Stupid fun. I think that's the phrase that I would use to describe Go-Go Thomas. Stupid fun is what it is. This is really the first release of the new CGI era that I've taken the time to describe each story because they don't all feel the same to me. So I'm gonna have to say that, yeah, I give a average run-of-the-mill Green Arrow. I give a recommend to Go-Go Thomas. You should pick this up and see the best of season 16. Again, it's not the best in terms of episode quality that we'll get later with the later CGI era or classic series, but for the new CGI era, seasons 13 through 16, these are some of the best. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Go-Go Thomas originally came with a slipcover. You saw in close-up, I do not have the slipcover, so my copy, just bare, would normally be worth about $5 to $6, but the slipcover adds value. Obviously, with any Thomas release, a slipcover adds value, so the slip-covered version, 11 or 12. So that was the HMR on Go-Go Thomas. For the end of an era, it wasn't that bad of an end. I have to say, it's really not a horrible release. And I'm not sad that I gave it a Green Arrow. I was really debating with Go-Go Thomas whether or not I was going to recommend it or not. I know last week I said I was debating with Muddy Matters whether or not I wanted the Green or Red Arrow it, but deep down in my heart, I always knew I was going to Red Arrow that. With Go-Go Thomas, it took some thinking and it took some soul searching. And man, I feel proud of my choice to recommend this. Next week is the day we have all been waiting for. The Renaissance of Thomas is finally here. Season 17, the first release for season 17, is next week with Railway Mischief. I cannot wait to watch these episodes again. I've been getting hit with so much bad Thomas content. It is going to be a wave of relief to finally see something that's good. So I'll see you all next week with Railway Mischief. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody. What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. I'm so excited right now because we're talking about Railway Mischief when Thomas got good again. Was that too overdramatic? I don't care. I'm happy. This is where fans' questions were answered. This is where the hope that we were given by Blue Mountain Mystery was finally bestowed upon us. This is where Thomas returns to form. And it all starts here with Railway Mischief. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Railway Mischief. So Railway Mischief was originally released in April of 2013, and interestingly, it was a Walmart exclusive for its first year of release. Interesting. We haven't really seen this concept of exclusivity with releases with Thomas and Friends stuff anywhere on the show. It will become more prevalent later on, but this is really where it starts. However, it was re-released in April of 2014 to all retailers. So in April of 2014, it was no longer a Walmart exclusive. It could be found everywhere, which also means they took away the slipcover, which Kind of makes me mad, but whatever. So let's go ahead and move on to the close-up section of Railway Mischief. Alrighty, everybody, here's your close-up look at Railway Mischief. And before we get started, I just want to say I apologize if I don't sound too enthused. I'm just really tired right now. I've been filming close-ups and menu tours pretty much all day. This is like the 5th one I've done in one consecutive day. So, yeah, but Railway Mischief, we're back to good Thomas content with a very simplistic front cover. Thomas and Friends, Railway Mischief, and again, a very eye-catching font. Thomas on the front with Gordon covered in mud, as well as Thomas covered in mud, and they're running over some muddy tracks. Yeah, this poster art's not the best. It looks like it was thrown together in about 5 minutes. On the side, Hit Entertainment logo, Thomas and Friends logo, Railway Mischief, portrait of Thomas distributed by Lionsgate. On the back, Cinders and Ashes. Whoa. UPC code, blurb about what's on the disc and such. Thomas, again, with the same face on the front cover. And Scruff back there. Bonus features include Soda Hide and Seek game, All You Need Are Friends, music video, fun and activities with Driver Perkins, and Guess Who puzzles. Link to the Thomas and Friends website and text specs down on the bottom. If you're wondering why exactly my cellophane is ripped right here, I bought this used off of eBay. It was like $3. It came from one of those sellers that have like tons and tons of old DVDs and such. It's also ripped up here on the front, or no, it's just a little cut in the plastic around it. But yeah, I bought this from the sellers that have like huge warehouses and overstock of just different types of DVDs and Blu-rays, and they don't use actual pictures of their products in their listings. So I wasn't sure what shape this was going to come in. So yeah, it's not a huge like setback, I guess you could say, but it's very noticeable. Open this up. Did not come with an insert. And your disc is a squished up version of the poster art. So that concludes the close-up. Let's go ahead and jump right into the menu tour for Railway Mischief. Alrighty, everyone. Here's your menu tour for Railway Mischief. You can kind of see that, I guess. But hey, we're back to good content for Thomas and Friends. Yeah, season 17 is really good, guys. But the menu's still the same. You still have the same 4 options, and it's still stock standard. So I don't have a lot of good things to say about the menu here. I do, however, have a lot of good things to say about the stories. You know, Gordon Runs Dry, Kevin's Cranky Friends, Gruff's Makeover, Wayward Winston, Steamy Stafford. Language selection is exactly the same. So bonus features, the Soda Hide and Seek game. We've already done this game. It was on one of the previous releases. I feel like it was on like Rescue on the Rails or something like that. All You Need Are Friends music video. I've never actually heard that song before. And Guess Who puzzles. So to give you guys some content here for the menu tour, so I don't make it horrendously short, which last week's menu tour was really long, let's look at the Guess Who puzzles. Those are fun. Yo, it's Mark Morgan. Not the character, the narrator. I don't know. It looks like, I'm gonna say it's Boko, because Boko's painted yellow, right? Nah, it's Kevin. Totally Kevin. If it's not Kevin, I'm jumping off a bridge. Yeah, it's Kevin. Ha! Guess what? I'm not jumping off a bridge today because it was Kevin. Ha! Oh, that's Scruff. Totally Scruff. I love how these have like the standard like puzzle putting together animation, like the pieces don't go in any other directions than when they're animated to. And yeah, it was right, it was Scruff. I'm probably gonna cut these down in editing because I'm not saying a lot. Oh, that's Bert the Arsdale Engine. Yeah, that's who it is. I feel like I know who this is. It's probably, what's his name? The Galloping Sausage, I think is who he is. Nah, it's Gordon. I'm not that dumb. I love how he says, Gordon. So anyway, that's the menu tour for Railway Mischief. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. All right, so we're back from the close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Railway Mischief is kind of rare, hard to find, not really all that common, I guess you could say. I don't know why. I'm surprised more fans didn't buy this when it first came out because, like I said, this is the renaissance of Thomas. This is where I got good again. But it's not really all that easy to find. It took me months to finally find a Railway Mischief copy that was in somewhat good shape or one that wasn't way too expensive. Online retailers is your best bet, but you're probably going to have to wait a while. They might have gone down by the time this video comes out, but when I'm filming this video, prices right now are insane. Like $15 for one of them. Like, Jesus Christ, guys, come on. I'm not paying that. Would you pay that? You shouldn't pay that. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Man, I have hyped up Railway Mischief throughout this entire HMR. This is where Thomas gets good again, right? To an extent, yes. These episodes are all better written than anything that Sharon Miller crapped out, or anything that her writing team crapped out. From the starting story of Gordon Runs Dry, the engine's dialogue feels more natural. There's less of a narrating presence, narrating their every move. They speak like actual characters. Their dialogue, again, feels more natural. Gordon Runs Dry, I think, is one of the most underrated stories of the entire new series. I don't think people talk about this story as much as they need to. It's a very simple premise, but it works so well. Kevin's cranky friend, I also really like. This is where the whole concept of two characters who you don't think would interact with each other, with Kevin and Cranky. Two cranes who have never spoken to each other in their life, have never met, are now thrown into this situation where they have to work together to fix Brendam Docks. I also relate to Kevin's cranky friend a lot, given that the docks is overcrowded and Cranky seems to be the only guy that's actually working. I relate to this on a personal level. If you guys don't already know, I work at UPS, and sometimes it feels like I'm the only one that's working up in my area when I just have this mountain of packages that's coming towards me that I have to sort. I relate to Cranky on a personal level, and I wish I had a Kevin to help me. But hey, they're paying me a buttload to work there, so I can't really complain. Scruff's makeover, an interesting episode. Wasn't really anything special. It's cool to see that Scruff and Whiff are still a part of the series, I suppose. Wayward Winston is the best episode on Railway Mischief, and it's one of my absolute favorite Thomas stories ever. Wayward Winston is such a good balance between realism and comedy. Again, Wayward Winston is one of the most underrated Thomas stories ever. Nobody talks about this story anymore, and they should, because it's hilarious. And it has that realism that everybody cries about. You know, the tracks are bent. It makes sense that Sir Topham Hatt would go and inspect the work on the rails. It also makes sense that signalmen would mess up Thomas's route while he's chasing Winston, because it's a real functioning railway and the signalmen don't know that Winston's out of control. The realism that all the Railway series buffs cry about. It's here, and no one talks about it. Also, it's funny. Everybody gives credit to the newer writing team for, making Thomas comedic. Thomas was comedic from season 17 onward. Wayward Winston proves that. This is a hilarious story. The shot with Winston rolling away from Sir Topham Hatt, and you see his back, and you just hear him say, "Faster, faster," as he's rolling down the hill, and Sir Topham Hatt is screaming, "No, Winston, come back!" It kills me every time I see it. Again, Wayward Winston, my favorite on this, and one of my favorite Thomas stories ever. And Steamy Stafford is the worst episode on this release. Steamy Stafford is just kind of really dumb. Why would Stafford want to be a Steamy? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's really a tie between Steamy Stafford and The Lost Puff for worst story of season 17 for me. It's Steamy Stafford. The Lost Puff is hilarious. There's also one more thing I want to comment on before I say whether or not I'm going to recommend this. The animation. Everybody harps on ARC for their first year of animation. Like, oh, it doesn't hold up at all. It sucks. It's better than Nitrogen. I noticed the difference right off the bat with ARC the first time I saw these stories. I was like, man, the animation looks brighter. it doesn't look as dark and sad as Nitrogen's animation did at times. Now, I'll admit, Ark's backgrounds do have room for improvement here. The animation is not, at 100% like it is nowadays. I'd say it's around 80-85% there, but for their first outing, this is very impressive. I've said this in the past, but Hero of the Rails does not hold up CG animation-wise. It looks like a 2002 computer graphic. This, however, will hold up 8 or 9 years from now. I firmly believe that. The backgrounds might not, but the engines themselves and the locations, the buildings, all of that will hold up 8 or 9 years from now, unlike Hero of the Rails where nothing holds up. Animation-wise, the story is still good. So coupled with Steamy Stafford and the glaring animation inferiority, I'm still going to recommend Railway Mischief because of the fact, again, this is where Thomas got good again. These aren't the best of Season 17, but Season 17 gets better as we move on in the timeline here. And thank God that this new writing team came on to fix Thomas. And thank God for the new narrator. Mark Morgan is so much better than Michael Brandon. And by the way, Mattel, middle finger to you for booting Mark Morgan off of the show. Anyway, Green Arrow for Railway Mischief. I've talked for too long here. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, for the Walmart exclusive version with the really cool slipcover, 10 to 15. That's pretty rare. But for just a regular old run-of-the-mill 2014 print, then your best bet is probably 5 to 6, maybe 7. But don't pay what people are asking nowadays for it. Don't pay that. So that was the HMR on Railway Mischief. Very underrated release. Not a lot of people talk about this one. Not a lot of people say that, hey, this is where Thomas got good again. They really credit that to King of the Railway, which makes sense to an extent. King of the Railway was what got a lot of fans, including myself, interested again in the show, but it all started with Railway Mischief, and this one isn't really remembered as fondly as it should be. But remember how I said with Go-Go Thomas that we ended out an era? Yeah, I forgot Animals Aboard is next week, and Animals Aboard is more of the same CGI schlock that we've been getting for the last, 3 months. And even better, there's stories we've already seen. It's a repackage of stories. I'm crying. It hurts. Okay. Keep it together, man. Keep it together, Lego lover. There's one more bad release, and then it's smooth sailing with nothing but good until we get to Tail the Brave. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. See you next week for Animals Aboard. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.
Find the hotel, vacation rental, cabin, castle, or chalet you want on Kayak. Search now.
And it all starts here with Railway. So I cannot say Railway without saying Whale Ray. The hell. Anyway, Green Arrow for I just cannot say this. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. Today's episode is on an era I had hoped we'd never have to come back to again. It's on Animals Aboard. I have no enthusiasm for this. I'm sorry, I have none. However, I am recording this on a brand new microphone. I have recently upgraded my phone from my old Samsung Galaxy S6 to the Google Pixel 2, and I am using a different voice recording app that's on the Pixel 2. So if this sounds any different, that's why. Hopefully it sounds better. I have it set to the highest audio quality that I can possibly get out of this phone. So hopefully it sounds 100 times better and 100 times sexier. So with all that said, let's go to the history section for Animals Aboard. So Animals Aboard was released back in September of 2013, and apparently, according to my source, it has gotten 2 reprints, one in 2015 and another one in May of 2016. Wow, Universal, what is wrong with you? Why are you bringing back this piece of shit release? Pardon me, family show, but this release is bad. Like, it's very, very bad. Preview for my thoughts in the ending section. Anyway, go ahead and move on to the close-up section of Animals Aboard. Alrighty, everyone, here's your close-up look at Animals Aboard. Last week, we were back with good Thomas content, and now we're back with bad Thomas content. Thomas' friends, Animals Aboard, Thomas and Percy up there with a lot of animals around it. We looked at Railway Mischief last week, and I mentioned how simplistic that poster art was. While I may not care for the content that's on this disc, this poster art is amazing. It's so vibrant. It really catches your eye. We're going to be honest about that. On the side, Hit Entertainment logo, Thomas' Friends, Animals Aboard, Portrait Thomas, distributed by Lionsgate. On the back, come right along for some wild rides on the rails. UPC code, blurb about what's on the disc. There's all of it. Bonus features, Hear the Engines Coming, music video, and Determination song and music video. So you get 2 music videos on here. There's not even a game on here. That's nice. Thomas up there with a squirrel, a rabbit, another squirrel, a bird, and a bird flying near him. So link to the Thomas and Friends website along with text specs at the bottom. Open this up. Did not come with an insert. I bought this new from Target, which I believe this was a Target exclusive for a while. I'll have to research that later on. Again, it comes with hooks in the case. That's odd. I believe Go-Go Thomas did the same thing a few weeks ago when we took a look at that release. Animals Aboard is your disc. It is a squished up version of the poster art. So that's your close-up look at Animals Aboard. Let's go ahead and jump right into our menu tour of Animals Aboard. Alrighty, everybody, here's your menu tour for Animals Aboard. You can't see that a lot there. There's a little bit of it. But if you could see it, you could probably tell that the menu card is different than what's on the cover art. I mean, we just transitioned from the close-up, so you should remember what the cover art looks like. If you don't, then you're going to fail the quiz and you're going to fail my class. But yeah, this card is different, so that's nice that they actually changed the card. I'm trying to be enthusiastic about this, but Animals Aboard sucks. I'm just going to say it right now. It sucks. Episode selection, Percy's New Friends, Thomas and the Pigs, Henry's Good Deeds, Thomas' Tall Friend, Buzzy Bees. I think I'm going to mention this in the last segment of the HMR, but we've already seen those episodes on previous releases. This is nothing more than a cash grab. There's no new content on this. Language selection, stock standard stuff, Thomas looking at some pigs. Bonus features. We don't even have a game to play this time around. We've got Hear the Engines Coming, which is a really creepy song, especially at the beginning where the dude is whispering into the microphone. And I was like, what is this, ASMR? I don't like this. Determination, which is an older song from the newer model era, I think. But yeah, this menu tour is a little shorter because we don't have a lot to look at. Like I said, there's no new content on this DVD. It's all repurposed stories and repurposed bonus features. So that's the menu tour for Animals Aboard. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. All right, so we're back from a close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? You shouldn't. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, thank the Lord above. Number 3, should you pick this product up? No, because this is a blatant cash grab release. Animals Aboard is one of the most blatant cash grabs I've ever seen in my life. This release was so unnecessary. Why? We've already seen these stories from previous releases. 3 of them are from season 13, one's from 14, and one's from 15. The newer CGI stuff, season 17, is in full swing right now. Fans are rejoicing over how good that is with Railway Mischief last week. We didn't need animals aboard. This is basically like shooting a home media collector in his ball sack with animals aboard after we had just gotten the greatness of railway mischief. Think of it like this. Railway mischief is like a prime steak dinner. All right. It's like the best steak that you could ever have in your life. And then the next night you go out and have McDonald's for dinner, which translates to animals aboard. Animals aboard is basically McDonald's on a disc. I'm having trouble formulating my thoughts right now on Animals Aboard because Animals Aboard is awful. It's terrible. No, you shouldn't buy it. I'm not as offended by this as I am by Up and Away because Up and Away stories are just so senseless and so that Animals Aboard, it's a cash grab. I can't really get too mad about a cash grab, but at the same time though, you just had that really good steak and now you're going to McDonald's the next night. Like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? You shouldn't. So same answer as number 1. Number 5, what price should you pay? You shouldn't pay anything for this because you shouldn't buy it. I'm not giving you a price. Ha, suck it. That's the HMR for Animals Aboard. Hopefully this one's a quickie because I hate this release and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I hope I never have to talk about it again except in a collection video. I'm ashamed to say that I own it, but I have to have everything. So, all right, so next week we're jumping right back into good things with King of the Railway. Go ahead and preview my thoughts on it. I really like King of the Railway. I'm not sure why a lot of people look back on it and are like, oh, that special is so bad. Tale the Brave is so much better. Well, I'm going to be explaining to you next week why that statement is wrong. I'm kidding. I personally don't share that thought, and I'll be explaining that next week. So, I'll see you all then. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.
Whether you're on the go or on the run, be ready for anything with new Ziploc leak-proof containers. S.C. Johnson and see Marvel Studios' Black Widow.
May I present to you Sir Lego Lover 117, collector of Thomas and Friends Home Media. Ta-da! Hello! I don't know what that intro was. Hey everybody, welcome back to Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. Today's episode's on King of the Railway. That was really fast. How did I say that? How did I say that without stuttering? I don't know what's up with me right now. It is really late. I don't have school tomorrow, so let's do this. Don't know why that information was necessary. This is going to be a bad one. Anyway, that senseless intro out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the history section of King of the Railway. So King of the Railway was first released back in September of 2013 on both DVD and Blu-ray. However, King of the Railway did get a universal reprint, I believe somewhere around like 2015, 2014 maybe. I'm not too sure about the dates. I found, well, actually, it's a funny story. My friend, Matt, HTJT, Hero of the Japanese Train, he found a copy of King of the Railway at his local Walmart a couple of years ago, and he was like, hey, man, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, I don't have King of the Railway. And then he never sent it to me. I'm not even sure if we bought it. If he did, he never, I guess he forgot to send it to me, and personally, I kind of forgot that he had it if he bought it. But then I got King of the Railway in a lot off of eBay, and it's a Lionsgate print. It's not a universal print, so it has a slipcover and all that cool stuff. So I was like, hey, Matt, if you did buy it, you can keep it. And he's like, okay, I bought it, and I'm going to keep it. I was like, all right, cool, dude. So that's how I know it got a reprint, because I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. Unless Matt like did like some clever like Photoshop while he was in the Walmart that he was in, that he found the King of the Railway in, then I got duped. So with that story out of the way and the history section out of the way, let's go ahead and move on into the close-up section of King of the Railway. Alrighty, everyone. Here's your close-up look at King of the Railway. One of the best Thomas specials, maybe? I mean, I'm not really sure. A really, really good Thomas special, but really not one of the best, but I still really like it. All new movie up there on the top. Thomas and Friends, King of the Railway, the movie. Still don't know why they need to put the movie under all of the special titles. I mean, they've been doing that since the Great Discovery, and I think it's stupid, to be honest. Thomas on the front cover there with Stephen right next to him, one of the strongest new characters ever introduced into Thomas and Friends. And the best thing about this is the fact that it's embossed. So I can just rub my hand on Thomas's nose right there, and I can feel it. Poke his eyes out. I can touch Stephen's face right there too. I don't know what this has turned into, but I really like this poster art. It's really, really nice. On the side, the entertainment logo, Thomas and Friends, King of the Railway, the movie. Portrait of Thomas, shipped by Lionsgate. On the back, it's the Royal Event of the Year. UPC code right there, blurb. Meet new friends Stephen, Millie, Connor, and Caitlin. So there's Thomas, Stephen, and Millie, but no Connor and Caitlin. And the Earl of Sodor right there. Your bonus features include the Search for the Lost Crown, which is a game. It's going to be a great day. Music, video, Searching Everywhere, which is also a music video. Working Together, which is a music video, and Guess Who puzzles. So you get 3 music videos and 1 game, and some Guess Who puzzles on there as well. Link to the Thomas and Friends website, as well as tech specs on the bottom, along with an FBI warning. And as per usual with these specials, slipcover. So it's exactly the same underneath, except up here it says feature-length movie, while on this it says all new movie. It really is a big difference there. Other than that, it's pretty much all the same. Yeah, pretty much all the same. Open this up. We do have a pamphlet to look at here, as well as an advertisement to subscribe to the Thomas and Friends magazine. Get a few issues of that free. I've never done that, so I'm going to put that there. Here's your pamphlet. Same poster art as the front, except there's a red outline around it. Inside, advertisements for the wooden railway products tying into King of the Railway. And if I'm going to be honest, the wooden railway sets that tied into King of the Railway were really good. Like this castle set, this is really spectacular. And then this mine, it's like Stephen at the mine set. I really like this too, even though it's just a figure 8, but it's still really cool. Take and Play advertisement as well. I was never into Take and Play, so I didn't really care for that stuff. Trackmaster stuff was also pretty good. We've also got some books, because they want the kids to read nowadays. Mega Blocks, and an advertisement for Thomas and Friends apps. And if we fold this up and take a look at the back, it's another one of those advertisements for Thomas being a part of the Little Big Club, which you can catch at your local Hard Rock Hotel, which I don't have one of those locally, so I'm willing to bet that you don't either. Here's your disc, squished up version of the poster art as usual, and still has hooks, which I still find very odd. So that is your close-up view at King of the Railway. Let's go ahead and jump into our menu tour of King of the Railway. Hey everybody, welcome to the menu tour for King of the Railway. You can barely see that. Again, I'm filming all these menu tours on the exact same day, and my dog is barking downstairs, so this menu tour is off to a great start. Anyway, this menu has already started off looking way more professional than a lot of the other menus in this series over the past year. We have animation for the menu. Yay, and it's in widescreen like this movie is. Yay, we won't see the TV series take on a widescreen aspect ratio until the tail end of season 17, so there's something to look forward to. Yeah, I really like this menu design. It's really cool and engaging. We have play, scenes, setup, and extras. New things to say. Wow, I'm so excited. Yeah. Scenes. What are the scenes we have? They're just 6 scenes because the movie is only like an hour, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Reneus is looking a little awkward there in scene 6. Oh, wait, no. There's a next feature. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We have 12 scenes, guys. Wow, that's a lot, actually. There's a main menu, accidentally pushed back, and not main menu. Setup. What do we have for setup? English 5.1 Dolby Digital English stereo, French stereo, and Spanish stereo. Those are different than what I usually say in the menu tours because I usually just say English, Spanish, and French. But now, if you have a Dolby Digital Surround Sound system, you can watch this in English 5.1 Dolby Digital Surround Sound. Isn't that cool? Extras. What do we have? The Search for the Lost Crown. It's going to be a great day. Searching everywhere and working together. Those are all music videos. And Guess Who puzzles. So we're going to play the Search for the Lost Crown game and see if it can hold up against the amazing Biff Bash Bosh game, which is basically just bowling with barrels. I've referenced that in I think every single HMR since Sticky Situations, but that's just because that game is amazing.
The first clue is, if your steamer isn't steaming, go to this place so Victor can get you back on track. Is it Sodor Steamworks, Ulstead Castle, or Brendam Docks?
All right, so I think we're given clues and we have to go to different locations. So if your steamer isn't steaming, go to where Victor can fix you. Victor works at the docks, right?
Correct. Victor fixes engines at the steamworks. Here's your next clue to help Thomas find the clue. After a long day's work, where should you and the steamers go to sleep for the night? Tidmouth Shed?
Wellsworth Sheds with Edward and Philip. Oh wait, Edward's dead. Never mind.
The Earl of Sodor needs help to rebuild Ulstead Castle. Where should you go to find lots of rocks? In the country? You were right. Rocks are found at the Blue Mountain Quarry, and that's where the crown was hidden.
Well, that game was kind of simple. It was okay. It was kind of a stock standard kind of game. I expected a special, nonetheless, to have a better game than that. Kind of disappointed with that, to be honest. But I'm not disappointed with this special, because this special, spoiler alert, I think it's better than Tale of the Brave. But we'll get into that when we head on back and answer the 5 main questions, as always. Do you guys like that segue? I sure did. Okay.
There are all kinds of pets, and while they may look different, they all want one thing, a loving home. So for every Bob's footwear or apparel purchase, Skechers makes a donation to the Petco Foundation, and we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets. Make a difference with Bob's from Skechers.
Okay, so we're back from the close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions, as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? If it was a few years ago, I'd say check your stores because it got reprinted, but it's not. It's 2018. So I'm not sure. I'd say online retailers. eBay's mainly your best bet. Amazon probably has it, but Amazon probably doesn't have it for a good deal. Watch, as soon as I put this HMR out, Universal is going to reprint it, and it's going to immediately put this out of date. You watch, it'll happen. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? I kind of teased last week that I have strong feelings about King of the Railway. And I do. I really like this special. I think it introduces some of the best newer characters of the newer CGI Thomas generation. That being Stephen, the Earl of Sodor, and to an extent Millie. Millie's all right. Connor and Caitlin were kind of unnecessary, and they really did nothing in this special, but they became more relevant over time. Caitlin even got her own story this season. Same with Connor, except he was a co-star in Bill or Ben. But just in context of this special, Connor and Caitlin really did nothing. But Stephen and the Earl are some of my favorite newer characters. The Earl is just so fun. He's like that old grandfatherly character who just loves everything and will give you anything you want for your birthday. Like, oh, here you go, son. Have a castle for your birthday. Like, oh, thanks, Granddad. His dynamics with Sir Topham Hatt, he is so hilarious, and Sir Topham Hatt is sometimes so stone cold serious, and Sir Topham Hatt just kind of has to go along with what the Earl's planning. It's a fun dynamic. Stephen also has a really cool basis. I love the fact that Thomas and Friends went back in history and said, hey, let's introduce a character who's an older steam engine. And we got Stephen. He's a Stephenson's rocket. Yeah, I know there's a Stephenson's rocket model in Thomas and the Great Railway Show or something that looks very similar to it, but I don't care. I don't read the Railway series. This is the first time it happened. So Stephen, Earl, somewhat Millie, she has Lady's Whistle. That's a cool little Easter egg. Already, King of the Railway has better, newer characters than Tale of the Brave does. Also, King of the Railway feels more coherent. A lot of people say that, oh, King of the Railway just feels like 4 episodes smashed together. There's nothing connecting it. Well, actually, there is. There's the through line plot thread of the Earl's Castle, and that is the plot thread that brings all of these separate stories together. The castle is the main focal point at the beginning and the end of this movie. And everything that's in the middle of this movie works towards building up that castle. I'm trying to stop myself from talking about Tale of the Brave because I don't want to spoil that HMR. Spoiler alert, I don't like it very much. So we're just going to continue talking about King of the Railway. This feels more coherent than a lot of people say, at least to me. The castle is what keeps everything together. And also, this movie is nostalgic for me. This movie was what got me back into seeing Thomas and Friends. I can remember back in like November or so of 2013, me, little youngin' Lego lover, who was only about 14 at this time, he had just gotten onto Skype and he had just made friends with a few folks in the WRC. And one of them, I think it was it Jake? I think it was Jake. He said, hey, dude, have you seen the new Thomas movie? I'm like, no, I don't watch the TV show. That's right. I pulled an MPS. I stopped watching the TV show. But then he said, dude, you got to check it out. It's actually really good. And I was a little apprehensive. I don't think I had seen Blue Mountain Mystery yet. So I didn't know that the older stuff could actually be good. I'd seen Day of the Diesels and I didn't really care for it. But I wasn't watching like the regular show at this point. So I didn't know if season 17 was good. I didn't know King of the Railway was good. And after I think I saw the UK version of King of the Railway first before I saw the US dub. I loved it. I was like, this is what I want Thomas to be. This is good. The dialogue feels natural. The engines aren't speaking like robot babies, to quote Vinnie Smith there. Everything feels like the Thomas universe. And that's what I like in these Thomas movies. I want it to feel like the Thomas universe. Something that I think the later movies have kind of strayed away from. Journey Beyond Sodor. Look, I like Journey Beyond Sodor, but it doesn't feel like the Thomas universe at all. Anyway, King of the Railway. It's a good movie. I recommend it. It's not my favorite of the specials. However, I do enjoy watching it every now and then. And also, before I move on, just the poster art. The poster art is amazing, and the DVD slip cover is so nice and elegant. I wish I had my hands on the Blu-ray though, with the slip cover. That would complete my life. But at the time of this recording, I don't have the King of the Railway Blu-ray yet. Who knows? I could have bought it, like 2 months later and then inserted it into the close-up. So then this makes no sense. So if I did do that, then fooled you. I do have the King of the Railway Blu-ray. But if I didn't, then when I eventually get the King of the Railway Blu-ray, expect a supplemental on it. There's one of 2 ways this could go. So number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. I personally bought mine in a lot. It had some things I didn't need, and it had another thing that I did need, so it was worth it. And number 5, what price should you pay? This release isn't that rare. You can find rips of it on YouTube, so you really don't even need to buy the DVD. In fact, that's what I did. For a while in 2014, I had stopped buying the DVDs, and I was perfectly fine with just having all of the specials as rips on my computer. But then I realized I like physical media, so then I started buying the DVDs again. And now look at me. I've created a YouTube series off of it. Yay! Anyway, going back to prices, the Blu-ray, people try to sell it for like $30. It's not worth that. I'd say the Blu-ray is worth like 10, 15, and then the regular DVD version, if you can find it with the slipcover, probably worth about the same, but if you can find it without it, then probably 10. So that's the HMR on King of the Railway. Once again, not my favorite Thomas special, but it probably makes it in the top 5. I'm gonna be honest, it's probably number 5. So next week we have a Christmas release. Woo, isn't that great? It's freaking April and we're talking about Christmas releases. That's because they do one for every season now. Like they've been doing since season 13, I believe. But before we go, I want to mention one thing. Guys, I don't normally pimp out my other content on HMR. HMR is kind of the series that stands by itself. I don't really talk about the extra videos I put out on Thursdays. And if you guys only watch my channel for the HMRs, you probably don't know I put out extra content on Thursdays. This stuff ranges from Thomas Wooden Railway reviews to Roblox to what our Skype calls are like to Let's Plays to whatever video I feel like putting out. That's what Thursdays are for. And I really hate doing this. I really hate like asking you guys to watch something, but this Thursday is when the first story from my remastered season 1 of my old Wooden Railway series. That's right. I used to do a series called Thomas and Friends Engine Adventures is going to air. The first story of the remastered season 1 is going to air this Thursday. It's called Fergus Takes the Express. I would really appreciate it. Sorry, I just took like 10 minutes to say appreciate. I would appreciate it if you guys went over and gave it a shot. I would appreciate it if you guys gave it at least one view, because I worked really hard on this remastered season 1. This has been like a year and a half of production, and I'm finally glad that it's over, and I'm finally glad that you guys are getting to see this. So I really hope that you can find it in your heart. You can find it in your precious time. Just hop over on Thursday and check out that story. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the best stories I've ever written personally, and I hope you guys check it out. I really do. I don't want this series to bomb, like get like 100 views and that's it, and just completely fail. So it feels like I put in all that effort for nothing. Give it a watch. Give it a watch. It's me, for Christ's sake. If you like HMR, I think you'll like my series. It has pretty much the same humor. I mean, it is me writing it after all. So that's it for this HMR. Again, I don't like advertising on HMR. Like I said, HMR is kind of like the series that stands on its own, and the Thursday videos kind of piggyback off of HMR, but I have a larger viewer base for HMR, and that reflects in the view count. So I just want you guys to know that I put out extra stuff on Thursdays, and it would really make me happy if you watched the first story of remastered season 1. You don't even have to watch the whole series, just episode 1, and then see if you like it, and then maybe check out episode 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. Again, I really don't like advertising on this show, but I don't want this to be for nothing. I worked really hard on this series. I think it's one of my best creations, and I hope you guys like it too. So next week, Santa's Little Engine. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody. And my dog is barking downstairs, so this mini tour is off to a great start. Ah, shut up. Number 2 is this bug. Yeah, I had a stroke. Hang on.
Tonight, I'll be eating a pork banh mi with extra jalapenos. Thanks, baby. Yeah, we about to get spicy for this virtual day. Spicy like them pajama pants. Hey, the camera is staying up here. This is not the second day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. Today's review is on Santa's Little Engine. As I said last week, it's friggin' April, and we're talking about Christmas still. Christmas was like 4 months ago. Let it go already. But nope, we still got more Christmas stuff to do. Just wait until we catch up to modern day, where we'll be covering 2 Christmas releases in 2 weeks' time. That being Christmas on Soda and Thomas's Holiday Collection. Yeah, that'll be a back-to-back thing. Look forward to that. So let's stop advertising for the not-too-distant future. Let's go ahead and jump right in to the history section for Santa's Little Engine. There's not much history on Santa's Little Engine. I can only find one date of when it was printed. It was released in October of 2013. So once again, we're not following the tradition here. Okay? Lionsgate, I know this was 5 years ago, but listen to me. All right? This is getting out of hand. You've got to release things in December that deal with Christmas. October is Halloween. You can't have kids mixing up Christmas and Halloween. Santa Claus doesn't come on Halloween, and the spooky jack-o'-lantern doesn't come on Christmas. Freaking Thailand got it right. Thailand's release of Santa's Little Engine was released in December. Come on, guys. I think that's the first time we've mentioned Thailand on the show, but all right. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Santa's Little Engine. All right, boys and girls, or just boys, because there are no girls that watch this show. Maybe, I'm not sure. We're going to take a look at Santa's Little Engine today. Yay, fun times, even though it's not Christmas anymore, but doing a Christmas release. Yeah, I'm not sure why I threw that. Anyway, let's take a look at it here. Thomas and Friends logo appeared at the top. Santa's Little Engine in a very eye-catching font. The eye-catching fonts are back. That's cool. You've got Thomas as a reindeer with Sir Topham Hatt as Santa Claus in the sleigh right here. It's a very nice cover, actually. There's Olmsted Castle in the back as well. Hit Entertainment logo on the side, if my camera will focus. Okay, there we go. Thomas Friends logo, Santa's Little Engine down there. You've got a portrait of Thomas from the front as the reindeer, or Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Distributed by Lionsgate on the bottom. Thomas Friends logo again, making tracks for Christmas cheer. Thomas covered in snow along with Gordon, covered in snow as well with his snowplow. I think, yeah, that's his snowplow. UPC code right there. Your blurb about what's on the disc. Bonus features include Sir Topham Hatt's Frosty Friend game and Guess Who puzzles. Link to the Thomas and Friends website, as well as tech specs, FBI warning, all that good stuff down at the bottom. Take off our slipcover here. It is not embossed, and it makes me mad that it's not. It's exactly the same artwork on the sides as well as on the slipcover. Nothing has changed. Open this up. We do have a little pamphlet here, and our disc is a squished up version of the poster art. I just hit the tripod. My apologies. I forgot there's several in here. Here's our advertisements for Christmas themed wooden railway stuff. You know, back when the wooden railway wasn't dead. So the Snowy Mountain figure 8 set. This is a really cool set, actually. I've never seen this in person, but this looks really awesome. I have seen this in person though, the diesel fueling station, and I want to pick one up for myself. It looks really useful. Snowy Tunnel and Santa's Little Engine, which is based off the story Santa's Little Engine. Keep digging inside. Some advertisements for Thomas and Friends social media and apps, and some books, but nobody reads books anymore. And on the back, another advertisement for Thomas the Tank Engine being in the Little Big Club at the Hard Rock Hotel. And you have an advertisement behind that for Mike the Knight. There's nothing on the back, it's just white. But Mike the Knight. Hey, Mike. Mike 123. I had no idea you were a knight, man. How's that show doing? Oh, it's canceled? Sorry. So that's the close-up on Santa's Little Engine. Let's go ahead and jump right into our menu tour for Santa's Little Engine. Alrighty, everybody. Here's your menu tour for Santa's Little Engine. We have our same 4 options as usual: play, episode selection, language selection, and bonus features. What episodes do we have on this Christmas-themed release? Santa's Little Engine, No Snow for Thomas, The Frozen Turntable, which I really liked that episode. Spoiler alert for the recommend section, but that one's really good. The Missing Christmas Decorations, which is, again, another good one. And Snow Tracks. That one should sound familiar. We've already seen Snow Tracks on a season 13 release, because that is a season 13 story. We'll talk more about that in the recommend section and all that stuff. Language selection, English, Spanish, and French, with a very comical picture of Sir Topham Hatt screaming. I guess he's screaming. He's either screaming or he's singing. Guess Who puzzles and Sir Topham Hatt's Frosty Friend game. So, let's play this game, shall we? I'm going to go with easy because I'm a wuss.
Catch the snowflakes and build the snowman before the snow piles up.
Okay. So you move the hat around and try to catch snowflakes, I guess.
So close, but the snow fell too fast. Well done. You've got the bottom of the snowman built. Now, let's catch more snowflakes.
Okay, so you push like the enter button and then the hat lights up red and you catch snowflakes that way. This is an interesting game.
The snowman is complete. We're almost finished. Let's keep building. The snowman is coming along. The snow is falling faster now. Let's catch the falling snowflakes. What a fantastic snowman! Sir Topham Hatt and the children of Sodor appreciate your help.
Well, that game was different. It wasn't, anything too special, but it was kind of fun. I find it interesting, though, how the game is in widescreen, but the menu is in full screen, if you notice that. So that is the menu tour for Santa's Little Engine. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions, as always. All right, so we're back from a close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions, as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? I actually picked mine up in a half-price books. I just went one day randomly after school and was like, hey, Santa's Little Engine, complete with slipcover. Why not pick this up? It was like $4. So if you have a half-price books near you, maybe it'll show up there. But if not, online retailers. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Santa's Little Engine has some pretty decent stories on it. That's the best way I can talk about these stories. They're decent. They are entertaining at face value, but when you really think about them, there's not much there. Like, the main story on here is Santa's Little Engine, and it's a very simple plot of the Earl wants Sir Topham Hatt to be Santa Claus, but he doesn't know how to drive a sleigh. Stretch this out for 8 minutes. The episode was fine. No snow for Thomas. That was, hearkening back to the olden days when Thomas hated wearing his snowplow, and that one was all right too. It wasn't, particularly interesting. The missing Christmas decorations and the frozen turntable are 2 of my favorite Christmas-themed stories, and the frozen turntable isn't even really Christmas-themed. The missing Christmas decorations starts off really well. I really like the characterization of Diesel 10. He's a villain, but he's not, shockingly terrifying, piss your pants scary kind of villain. He's your generic mustache twirling villain for a children's cartoon series, and I thought he was characterized very well here. And the rest of the Diesels, yeah, it was fun. It's a fun story. The frozen turntable, though, I don't know. This episode's probably one of my favorites of season 17. I think it's because it's not a Christmas-themed story where, like, every other story that's in winter takes place during Christmas. This one is just a winter-themed story. It's winter on the island and the turntable gets frozen. The engines have to go and find somewhere else to sleep. And then, of course, it's Gordon who ends up, tricking everybody. And then he gets stuck in the shed because the turntable gets frozen again and it turns. And I don't know. I just really like the frozen turntable. I was really surprised re-watching it the other night for this HMR. It's such a good episode. I don't know what it is. I just really like it. This release also features a kind of weird story. We get snow tracks, which, if you recall, was first seen on Splish Splash Splosh. Snow Tracks was originally narrated by Michael Brandon. However, apparently Mark Morgan was given a big old fat check to redub Snow Tracks. So now Mark Morgan is heard as the narrator. We still have the same dialogue. None of it's been changed. It's the same script. But now it's Mark Morgan reading these stupid ass narrator lines. It was kind of not necessary. You could have just had 4 episodes instead of gone through the extra effort to get Mark Morgan to go into a studio and, record these lines. But I guess it's cool. It's a neat little bonus thing. I had no idea that Snow Tracks was re-narrated the first time I watched this. Well, that being said, yeah, I think I would recommend Santa's Little Engine. It's a perfectly fine Christmas release. It's certainly not as good as its sequel, The Christmas Engines, because that just has better stories on it. But Santa's Little Engine, at face value, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, I paid $4 for mine. With the slipcover though, releases tend to gain value as time moves on. So I'd say probably like 10 for the release with the slipcover. Without it, I'd say it's probably worth the same amount. So that's the HMR on Santa's Little Engine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's nothing too special. No one really remembers it. And to be honest, do you really need to remember this? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's nothing horrible. It's better than all of seasons 13 and 16. Or seasons 13 through 16, not just seasons 13 and 16. 14 and 15 are bad too. Next week is when our Lord and Savior, Doc the Great Western Engine, returned to us. It is the Thomas Way. This is also one of the most nostalgic season 17 releases to me, but I'll tell that story next week. I'll see you all then. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody. Number 2 is the... Can I stop having consecutive strokes? Okay? Jeez.
All locomotives carry stories. They can be about their work, they can be about their arguments and disagreements with engines and humans alike. They can be about their thoughts and feelings of love and loss, of bravery and cowardice. Or they can simply be stories to tell to other engines, to scare and entertain, to inform and discuss. These are the stories of the locomotive fleet of the Dark Railway, of their pasts, their present, and their uncertain futures. Episode 1. Pilots. So, what did you say? I told her I'd see her at 8, but aren't you nervous? I mean, she has got a reputation. Reputation? She's a good-looking engine. I'd definitely insert your vacuum pump into her slot. Don't be vulgar. Not on a first date, anyway. What about your alleged date? Oh, it's nothing big. Just a quiet meeting between me and an attractive diesel from the... Attractive? Diesels are, no offence, boxes. No, we aren't. Anyway, steam engines aren't exactly the best looking in some cases. I mean, look at bullies. They're essentially boxes. Yes, but they can at least be hot underneath. I knew you... Okay. Shut it. What makes diesel so attractive anyway? All the smoothness? Well, yes, there is that. But we can also be driven from either end, and you mean you can take it from either end? You're disgusting. Anyway, you say that. Have you heard about that double-ended steam engine built in the 40s? Now that was the leader. I'm not worried about that engine. It was scrapped as far as I knew. Bully designs are a little bit strange. He was a bit, oh. At that moment, Sir Eustace Bissenden, the bullied Pacific, backed into the shed. The designer was what? I heard something mentioned about the lead. He was a genius. I thought the leader was a genius at least, and it was a crackpot idea, more like it. Anyway, what are you doing here, Diesel? This is a steam shed. I'll have you know that yes, I'm sure it is very important, but not as important as my duty tomorrow. Express service into the Western region, meeting up for a date with a delightful girl I met whilst at high-ranking meetings at Plymouth, and cool, who's the lucky guy? I'm sure you'll have plenty of business to attend to. I don't know who you think I am, David, but I can assure you I do not swing your way. And what's that supposed to mean? Break it up, ladies. There is work to be done right, and I think I should be in charge of the next service to Mirko. I'm sure it is a special service for the managing director or something, so I heard. And you, full of special? No chance. I'm a dead sir. Well, you will both probably be picked and not me. Why not you? I'm on freight duty sort of day, aren't I? Anyway, I'll leave you ladies to discuss your dates and whatnot. Dave left the shed, leaving the diesel and spam can to... I'm not a spam can. You couldn't fool me. Anyway, on to the heated arguments. No, I am a steam locomotive, and therefore much stronger than you. No. You, my friend, are unreliable. I had heard you'd broken down last month on an express. Overheated bearing? Boiler lagging fire? Care to debunk the rumours? How dare you? The yard manager arrived to find out what was the matter. Will you two keep it down? The passengers are getting concerned. Fine. But can you confirm, my dear fellow, who will be pulling the special management service tonight? Both of you, I believe. What? Yes. This is a heavy train, full of guests and managers and staff. 2 engines are needed, and as you two are the only ones left, both engines groaned. Steam and diesel working together? This couldn't go well. So, Ray, can you please collect the coaching stock? Eustace? Sir, Eustace. Sir, Eustace, then. Needs oiling and a refuel before we leave. Yes, sir. So, Raymond headed into the yard and collected the train, while the Pacific was oiled and refueled. Soon, Raymond was waiting in the station loop for Sir Eustace to connect to the train. I'm the train engine? I won't be able to see past this hulking lump. If you'd rather lead, I'll certainly. No. An important engine needs to be connected to the train with a functional, reliable vacuum pump. No, you can pilot my, yes, he finished feebly. So, Raymond and Sir Eustace Missenden, then, coupled to the train. Ready, old puffer? Oh yes, I'm ready, you oily critical. The guard's whistle blew, and they left, thank God. Out on the line, Dave was waiting at Axley to pass the special service with his goods train. He saw them coming down the hill, and over the sound of the diesel engine and escaping steam, he could hear yet another argument. Brake, you beastly thing! I have full brakes on you, useless. Well, a fat lot of good they're doing. Ah, here we go, slowing at last. They passed through the platform, still arguing. Dave sighed. I think they needed to go a little slow on their first date. Meanwhile, this hill is awfully steep. Work harder, you filthy second-class citizen. Oh, I thought you was an important, strong engine. You need my assistance, then? No, I could manage without your assistance, thank you very much. If you insist. They had almost reached the top of the hill when... I'm slipping. I'm going to stall. Need my help, then? Well, we are slipping, you fool. I require your assistance, please. What? Say please. Then I'll think about it. So Eustace Missenden's driver leaned out of his window. Raymond, we need your help. Please assist us. If you insist. Raymond flared and revved as hard as he could. Pulled the heavy train up the final approach to Manston 4. At this point, Sir Eustace had had enough. Phew! Oh, I am tired. I don't think I can go on much further. Don't worry, old puffer. We'll soon be at Meercoombe soon, and you can have a jolly good rest. Well, I suppose a thank you is in order. Nah, don't worry about it. Just admit that we diesels are superior. What? What's a ghastly thing to... I was kidding. Though this does prove something. In the sheds, Gallant Junction later in the night, Sir Eustace pulled up next to Dave. That's Raymond. A troublesome sort, eh? Not as bad as Thea and Otto when they've had a drink. I mean, this diesel is very boastful about his kind. Yes, he is a bit. But look at it this way. At least we can have a good laugh at their expense when railway management have to bring in a steam engine to cover for them. Yes, I guess that is true. But I quite like Raymond. He's a bit of a bore sometimes, on about the traction revolution. But deep down, I think he's a helpful sort. I think he'll make a fine addition to the railway. Yes. But what if what he is saying is true? What if diesels do take over? Where does that leave us? In museums? As scrap? Maybe. That's why I'm trying to get as much out of life as possible, because we face uncertain times now. Steam is getting more labour intensive. My driver said so last week. You will definitely survive, mate. All that technical wizardry under your boiler cladding and whatnot? Yes, I think you're right. I can't think of a single reason to preserve you, though. Both engines continued to laugh into the night. What a lovely, jubilant sound it was. Until next time, goodbye. Episode 2. The Party. It was a lovely spring afternoon. The sun was shining. The birds were... Get on with it! Yes, well, Dave and Brian were waiting at Gallant Junction for some important news. If she is that important to you, why don't you invite her over? Because she has a very busy workload. You know she is often drafted onto expresses and lame. Excuses, Dave. Why do you continue to make excuses, eh? Well, she is a pretty engine. She has a lovely smoke box designs and... Looks alone will finish you off, Dave. Once the laughter had died down, Dave noticed Darren the O2 shunter approaching them. Hey guys, you heard the news yet? No. Well, this will explain everything. My driver had the invites. Show him. Owen's driver walked over to the engines, handing their drivers a small piece of paper each with writing on them. Dave's driver showed him the paper. Dear David, myself and Theodore would be ever so grateful if you could join us at the Meercoombe Sheds tonight at 6 p.m. sharp for a little get-together we have planned. We will be glad to see you there from Otto number 2. Dave stared. A party, eh? You're coming, aren't you, Brian? Well, I did have some other work to complete, but oh, what the heck? I'm not getting any younger, right? Indeed. I wonder who else will be there. Theo and Otto usually invite a host of engines. Oh, I hope they aren't planning any drinking games. Not after last time. What? When you sprayed oil and grease all over the platform at Upway? Don't remind me. Later on, Dave and Brian arrived at the sheds, slightly early, to grab a decent shed road. Theo, the little tank engine, bustled up importantly to the pair. Welcome, my friends. I see you have brought yourself a date, Dave. Oi! I'm kidding, my friend. Go and find somewhere nice to stand. Myself and Otto will get you a drink. So the pair headed into shed roads 1 and 2, staring around for the other guests. They looked out into the yard reception to see Raymond. Good evening, David and Brian. I'm glad to see I am welcome, he said rather coldly. Well, I suppose as Theo and Otto invited you, we can't complain. Raymond sidled up next to Brian in shed road 3. So, Brian, he began in an oily voice, what happened to you earlier at Wolf Church? I'd heard that you had stalled whilst on banking duties. Brian began to retaliate at once. It was a heavy mineral train. And anyway, weren't you meant to be on a banking duty today? Oh, yes, but I was called away urgently to cover another service. Sure you were. I didn't mean to. Brian spoke to Dave. So, you're going on another date next week? Soon, the shed began to fill. Dave saw the pompous Pacific, Sir Eustace, puffing importantly into Road 9, while Owen, the humble little shunter, arrived at rows 6 and 7 with Ryan, the yard shunter from Meergoo. Once the engines had settled down, Theo spoke. Welcome, friends, to our party. Feel free to get yourselves drinks. Dave and Brian looked stricken. And mingle with our guests. We have invited another distinguished friend of ours, so please, let us introduce you to... Another engine sidled up between the 2 engines. Our cousin, Sir Edgar Woolwinder, whose birthday is today. The engine blew their whistles and horns in celebration of the newcomer, though none of the engines really knew him well enough to comment further. Sir Eustace, however, looked outraged. Sir Edgar Woolwinder! The other engine shushed him as Otto spoke again. I hope you all enjoy the party. Let the celebrations begin. Dave and Brian quietly left for the water tower for a drink. Raymond sighed, and Theo noticed. Raymond, you do know we have alcohol beverages for diesel traction, yes? There's some Smirnoff oil over there. When the 2 engines returned, tanks filled to the brim, they found Sir Eustace and Sir Edgar arguing in rows 8 and 9. So, when were you knighted? I wasn't. I'm given this name by my owners. Well, he wheezed through his cylinder cocks, I was knighted in 1951 for servicing to the British Empire and... Edgar interrupted. I happen to know that you were named after the last general manager of the Southern Railway, who was knighted himself. What an atrocious thing to say! I don't know where you'll get information from, little tank engine, but at this point, Dave and Brian moved over to Owen and Wyatt, who were discussing the correct way to marshal a goods train. I always marshal the lower height wagons at the back, before the brake van. That's right, isn't it? That's how I've been taught to do it. Otto was telling me that he shunts them the same, to allow the guard better visibility. Dave interjected. Which one of you guys will organise my train tomorrow? For Salisbury? I think that would be me, mate. Do you think you could marshal a low wagon at the front for me, behind the tender? My driver wants some visibility himself. Sure thing, mate. But there may be another shunter coming in the morning, so I may have to teach him how to marshal trains correctly here. Sorry if I forget to put your wagon behind you. Understandable. Ryan turned to Sir Edgar. I shun them pretty much the same as you and your friends, except I always make sure that the wagons are happy with their arrangements. Once I shunted one into the wrong place. He was furious, and he made his friend surge me into a pair of buffers. My buffer beam was never the same again. Owen and Ryan seemed awed. Sir Eustace, however, did not seem to appreciate this change of subject. So you're saying that shunting and freight is more important than passengers? No, not at all. They are both as important as the other. I'm sure our precious passengers would not think the same, especially when some, clumsy shunters back wagons into precious coaches? He looked deviously at Owen and Ryan. Edgar talked again. If you think you can do better, then feel free to. But at that very moment, there was a commotion from the carriage shed. It appeared that Otto, the tank engine, was trying to unsuccessfully flirt with a Mark I. Once you go shunter, you never go back, he blurted out. Ethel, the Mark I coach, was sniggering to her friends, who were all blushing redder than ever. Not that that makes any difference, seeing as they are crimson and cream anyway. Oh dear, he's already slammed. That's nothing. Look at Theo. Theo was trying to get Raymond to dance with him. I've thought Diesels loved to dance. You're meant to be a smooth operator. Dave and Brian both laughed. So did, it seems, the rest of the guests. You are sadly misinformed. Now can you please bother someone else? Theo looked taken aback, but bounced off to the yard reception, where he had spotted more alcohol being shipped in. Shortly the engine began to disperse, seeing as Theo and Otto were now drunkenly singing the final countdown at the top of their voices. I'm glad we can return to Junction tonight. Oh, and are you staying? He addressed the shunter. Nope. I'm on piloting duties here in the morning. I need to get an early night. Me and Ryan will head over to the display sidings until the twins head home. So Dave and Brian began to head off, when a roar of displeasure erupted from the sheds. Sir Eustace was storming out of his road towards Sir Edgar, who had made a cheeky comment that Sir Eustace was related to Diesels. I will not have it! I am a steam locomotive, therefore, he began, then stopped, belching steam from his funnel. He was evidently very drunk. Come on, Eustace. Sir Eustace Massive Render the Third, if you please, he boomed. Dave turned to Brian. We'd better take him back to the junction. The three engines left the yard, while Theo and Otto boomed out another horrible, terrible song. Another engine bustled up behind the three steam engines. It was Raymond. Mind if I join you guys? These tank engines are awfully drunk. Dave and Eustace didn't look good. Maybe it's better that you don't, Raymond. We don't want any more arguments tonight, do we? Leaving Raymond looking hurt and stricken, the trio left. Dave reasoned. He's got Owen and Ryan for company. They're Diesels. I don't think he gets on well with them. He probably considers them second class. Well, I don't mind them all. They're usually very good with their work, but I think he sees them as traitors, because they do get on well with us. Well, maybe. I think Raymond needs to stop with his prejudices. He's not going to have many friends left for long if he doesn't. The three engines continued to Gallon Junction to sleep off their drink, wondering whether they would ever accept another invite to one of Theo and Otto's get-togethers. Well, at least there wasn't any drinking games. Meanwhile, back at Meercombe, 1, 2, 3, glug, done. I love you, Otto. Edgar, take off that handrail. You snooze, you lose. Until next time, and when the engines have sobered up, goodbye. Episode 3: The Shunter's Gamble. Spring was now rolling into summer on the dark railway, bringing more work for the engines on the line. The hot weather was attracting plenty of passengers keen to head for the seaside, and there were plenty of freight workings to keep the engine busy. One rainy day, we find the railway's owner and manager, Mr. Dark, speaking to the engines at Meercombe. Therefore, I will be away from the railway for about a week. I have managed to convince the staff that your engines will know what to do whilst I am away. However, as a precaution, I am going to put 1 or 2 engines in charge of operations until I return. The engine beamed. There was a long period of whispering by not only the engines, but railway staff at the scene. Sir Eustace spoke up at last. Please, sir, could you please inform us whom you have decided to look after the line whilst you are away? I will inform you later today. Meanwhile, please resume with your daily work. The engines headed off to do their duties, still wondering who would be chosen for this important responsibility. Dave headed off to take a goods train to the western region, whilst Brian, Otto and Theo headed to Soma for shunting. Sir Eustace and Raymond were in charge of express services on the main line that afternoon, whilst Owen and Ryan were in charge of shunting the train together. We catch up with them in the sheds. So, how come we can't pull proper trains, Ryan? Because we weren't built to shunt, mate. It's the way it will always be. We are too small to pull trains. Owen looked rather upset. He enjoyed watching trains rush up and down the line and wanted a taste of the experience himself. Ryan reassured him. Look, mate, you're a brilliant shunter. Otto and Theo both agree with me on that count. Really? You guys think I'm a good shunter? One of the best I've ever known, mate. If we didn't have you here, we'd never get all this work done. Owen looked positively radiant with happiness. He therefore continued with his shunting and, once finished, held the Waco coaches into the platform. He thought to himself while he sat at the front of the train, waiting for Raymond to show up. I wish I could pull trains too. If I'm such a good shunter, I'd certainly be a good passenger engine. Owen waited and waited, but Raymond did not appear. It was nearly time for the express to leave. People were waiting anxiously, but he didn't come. Mr. Dark approached the platform and addressed the passengers. Owen listened. I am very sorry for the hold-up, ladies and gentlemen. The locomotive booked for this service has developed an overheating bearing at Soma and cannot continue here to pull the express. Owen, suddenly crafty, had an idea. Sir, what if I pulled the train to the junction? Mr. Dark stared at the little shunter. I'm not sure, Owen. You're a little small to take this heavy train all the way to Gallon. What if Ryan helped? He has a higher top speed than me, and I can assist. Well, this train is already late, and there are no other engines available to take the train. Okay, Owen, go and tell Ryan to stop shunting and help you with this train. I'm trusting you with this. Owen beamed and ran to the yard to get Ryan. Ryan! We're pulling a train! What? Mr. Dark just told us to take the express to the junction because Raymond's broken down. Seriously? Awesome! Come on then, let's go. So the two shunters quickly positioned themselves at the front of the train. The guard's whistle blew, and they revved as hard as they could to pull the heavy train. They ran well, if a little slow, until Upway Hill, where they positioned their gears into neutral in order to coast faster down the hill to make up for lost time. Suddenly, Owen's excitement began to fade, as his axle began to burn. Oh no! What's up, mate? My axles are hurting. We need to slow down, mate. Otherwise your axle boxes will overheat and we will be even later than ever. The two shunters made an interesting sight as they slowed to proceed through Waldchurch. Brian, who was picking up some wagon to take to Soma, looked on and laughed loudly. Watch your speed, lads. If you went any slower, you'd be going backwards. He chuckled at his own wit. Owen and Ryan ignored him as they passed the station, slowing to 20 miles an hour to avoid overheating Owen's already hot bearings. They passed Axley without any serious problems, but Owen was beginning to feel the drag of the heavy coaches as they ascended another hill. Ryan pulled as hard as he could to keep the train moving, Eventually, they reached a junction. A standby engine hurried forward, worked the train forward to the coast. The shunters headed into the yard for a rest. Sir Eustace, who was just preparing to take his train to London, looked at the exhausted and overheated shunters. My, oh my, he said in an arrogant, pompous voice. What have we got here? 2 shunters at the head of an express. Have fun, did you? Phew, not really. Eustace continued. Well, I'll have you both know that this train is 45 minutes late. The shunters looked alarmed. They looked deeply ashamed of themselves. Unexpectedly, Sir Eustace spoke again, in a calmer, more mellow tone. However, if you had not taken the train, I am sure it would have been a lot later if another engine was called to take it. Mr. Dark telephoned down to tell us what had happened, so I personally congratulate both of you on your hard work. Both shunters looked curiously at Sir Eustace. The pompous Pacific, being kind to they, diesels. What was going on? Ryan spoke. Why are you being so nice to us? I thought you despised us. Because, my dear fellow, returning to his usual tones, I know how to value hard work. You 2 stepped up to the mark and pulled that train regardless of your size. Well done to both of you. Now, if you will excuse me, I have an important train to pull. And he puffed away. Owen looked at Ryan. What was that about? No idea, mate, but at least he didn't drone on and on about us being late. Owen felt exhausted. He decided, then and there, that he would stick to what he was good at, shunting. Later that evening, the engines were called back to the sheds for an important announcement. Raymond was nowhere to be seen. However, Mr. Dark continued to speak. Welcome, engines and staff members. I have thought long and hard all day about whom I would like to run the railway whilst I am away. The engines looked among themselves, excitement brimming inside them. I have decided that Owen and Ryan shall be in charge of the line whilst I am away. The other engines looked shocked. Sir Eustace looked rather blank as Mr. Dark. They have shown me
Oh, Molly, man. Ooh, spooky. For the squirrels on disco. It's almost scary. Mr. Bubbles. Oh, that one got a bit deflated. Yeah, that's true. We're in the wrong season. Season the moon like a Death Star. Yeah. Someone's taking a bite out of it. It's cheese. This is a bit creepy. There's babies crying, hanging from trees, singing Rainbow Connection. Kermit? It's like